Hello there, and welcome to the entertainment headquarters, and welcome to the Retro Classic Movie Show, my segment on the channel dedicated to all things from the 1970s onward up to the early 2000s. And right now, I'm joined by my co host, Mr. DJ Anubis of the Metal Tavern Radio, and our guest, Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Hello.
Hello. So, of course, every month I'll pick a movie and we'll review it, and then the following month, Mr. DJ Anubis picks his choice. This month was my choice, and I had to pick a film that I've never seen for quite some time, but it's one of my favourite John Claude Van Damme movies, and it is, of course, Double Impact. Double Van Damme for the price of one.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got joining that's Mr. DJ Anubis. We've got Red Spirit 101. Thanks for joining us. So, as always, we'll start this with the way we always do. Mr. DJ Anubis, can you remember the first time seeing Double Impact?
Yep. I saw this one in the theaters really around this time throughout the late 80s and early 90s. I was pretty avid going into the theater, especially with action films, especially with Van Damme. Like, I hadn't seen Bloodsport in the theaters, but once I did see it, I became like a really big fan of Van Damme. And obviously when Double Impact came out and Kickboxer as well as Lionheart, I was always in the theater to see these films. So seeing this, like, it was so much fun. And I try to remember because at the time, I don't think this is the first film to try to do where they play two roles, like, playing doubles, but they made a big deal about it at the time because of the, cinematic and how hard it might be to do that. But I just remember them really pumping it up about like Van Damme's playing the dual roles, and it really turned out very well how they did. Because like we said off screen, some of the mannerisms that, John is doing in here, he does for both, and they can see both differences. So however they splice that together is quite amazing for this time. So a lot of fun for sure.
No, definitely. Mr. Tony the Dead, can you remember the first time you seen Deep Impact? Not Double Impact?
I mean, the first time I saw it was a while ago, but more recently I saw it maybe a year or so ago, and now rewatch it now this time. And I still like forgot about some things. It's kind of funny how that happens, but yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites as well. It's no blood sport to me, but
oh yeah,
yeah, this is definitely rising up in the ranks. It's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a blast. It's just a real fun movie. I obviously was younger when this came out in 1991, but I remember I think we might have rented this a couple of years after it came out. I think there was because I've got an older brother. I think it was around the time where you rented loads of different action movies at the same time, like because John Claude Van Damme at the time was like at his peak. Well, not his peak, but he had done a load of films, like you said, Lionheart. He had done Kickboxer. He'd done all it. I mean, I think he did. I think the one film that I think stood out for me as well with him before I watched all these classic action films is a Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
So that one was the really one that caught my eye because there was just something about him, of course, because I love Rocky and I like Dolph Lundgren. I just thought, oh, I've got to check out Universal Soldier, and then I checked that out, and the next thing you know, I started going down the Van Damme films from like his latest ones right down to his early ones, and I just discovered him, and I just thought he was fantastic, and he was like a showman as well as like a really strong action star. He was like, not that he is, but for me, he had mannerisms like when you see, like you said, his face, like he reminded me of like Bruce Lee with some of the way he like performs the action sequence and the noises and the like wide makes when he's hitting people. He's just phenomenal.
I could like when he hits, he does like a yeah, real
Yeah.
like it really hurt.
Yeah.
You got hit by it.
Oh yeah. So, Double Impact is a 1991 American action film written and directed by Sheldon Leitch and written and produced and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as Chad and Alex Wagner. The film marks Van Damme's third collaboration with director Sheldon Leitch, who wrote Bloodsport and directed Lionheart, and second collaboration with Bolo Young, the first being Bloodsport in 1988. Double Impact was released in the United States on August the 9th, 1991. So another name mentioned there outside of Jean-Claude Van Damme, we're all going to talk about him, and it is Bolo Young, who I said off camera before to you guys is I haven't seen like these films for quite some time, but I've always liked Bolo Young. In rewatching this film, I got the instant feelings I did back when I was a lot younger with how terrifying and imposing Bolo Young is. Like he just looks the part. He's huge. He looks, cold. He looks menacing. I would not want to bump into him like that in a dark alley.
No way.
I'd just say, take your money, leave us alone, don't kill us.
And that scar in this movie made him even more terrifying looking.
Yeah,
in the eye, so cool. Like right there, that look he gives.
Yes, just vicious.
I break you.
I break you.
So alongside Bolo Young and Jean-Claude Van Damme, we have a number of talented actors. We have Jeffrey Lewis, who, as we know, I love him in a lot of his work, but I also, one thing I do like and that I'll mention him in, I like him in Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
This is him there with baby Alex.
Great actor.
Yeah, great actor. And obviously, we do have baby Chad as well, who gets rescued under, really bad circumstances, which we're going to get into. Also in the cast, you have playing Nigel Griffith, Alan Scarf, I believe it is. Alan Scarf. And then you have Philip Chan, who plays Philip Chan Yan Kin, who is the Chinese like drug lord or gangster. And obviously Nigel Griffith, he's like this businessman, crooked businessman who's the other rival. Then you have Corey Everson, who plays Cora, who is stunning there. And then alongside here, you have Alana Shaw, who plays Danielle. So that's your main cast. And basically the story is you have the Wagner family, the mother and father, who are like these industrial business people who are working with Griffith, who were building this new bridge to connect, I guess, the islands to the mainland. And it's like a huge business proposition, business deal. And they've got two young sons, and basically Griffith has decided to plot with Philip Chan Yan Kin to basically wipe out the Wagners so he can take full control of the business and the fortune and take over the grand scale operation in China. And so as they're driving home, and obviously you've got like I say, you've got Jeffrey Lewis, who plays Frank Avery, who's like the, I guess, bodyguard or associate. He's driving home. He gets told to go home early, which is like a huge mistake because then the triads take upon taking out the Wagners. And Frank's too late to save them. But like I showed you before, Frank manages to take Chad and he takes them to Los Angeles. And then the nanny, who does survive, takes Alex. And they basically split the kids apart. One grows up in China, has a rough upbringing, kind of gets involved, owns a bar, but he's also like involved with like criminal activities. And then of course that's Alex. But Chad decides, he's Mr. Hollywood. He has other ideas. And I thought the opening of this movie was fantastic. Of course, I enjoyed the opening of this.
Of course you did.
Oh, and that's
Oh.
Julie Strain. That he was she was on the floor flexing.
Mhm,
As I said, Debbie Rochon. That's Julie Strain, not Debbie Rochon.
mhm.
Julie Strain's passed away, but you
Yeah.
could see some of her pubic hair when he lifts her legs, so that was nice. No trimming.
Yeah,
I like I tell you, like
Fantastic.
that's what he zeroed in on.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, just we don't need that.
But anyway, let's carry on, gentlemen. So basically, Frank finds out the location of Chad's brother Alex, and they basically he takes him to China to basically try and reconnect the brothers so they can eventually try and reclaim the family business and fortune from the corrupted Griffith. But along the way, they go into the bar where Alex owns, and they bump into his wife, and there's a bit of a situation goes on with his wife. She gets a bit frisky with the wrong brother, and it ends up.
Actually, I think it's his
Alex,
girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a girlfriend.
So the girlfriend thinks obviously it's Alex, but it's not. It's Chad, the one from LA. But obviously, Chad doesn't know any different because he just thinks, oh, there's some hot girl. She's taking an attraction to his, and he's just gonna go with the flow. And then obviously Alex turns up and basically knocks him out. And when they wake up, this is where Frank's trying to explain to both Alex and Chad, you two are brothers, look at each other, yes, have come from this family, but they're a bit, standoffish from each other. Danielle, the girlfriend, very skeptical because, of course, it's then revealed she works for Griffith, who is her boss. She's worked there for 5 years, and Frank's seeing all these nasty things, how he's a crooked businessman, he's a criminal, and she's like finding that hard to believe. But then, of course, she decides to go snooping about, and the film starts off very, very. It's like a mixture of comedy and gets straight to the point, very serious. Basically, explains what's happening. And as the plot progresses, there's just different situations where they end up having to like join forces to eventually take down Ken and Griffith. So, DJ Anubis, how do you find the overall plot and like how it progresses?
Well, I like it because it actually sets the tone for the rest of the movie. I mean, you have the twins split up, and they're raised a lot differently. So Chad, he's got a little bit more luxury in his lifestyle. And of course, our host just walks away, but doesn't want to hear what I have to say. But anyway,
He's like, I disagree.
Yeah, Chad just he grows up and he has a little bit nicer lifestyle. He's flamboyant and just really arrogant. Because he doesn't have to worry about anything. Whereas Alex is having to really fight off the streets to become somebody and survive. Because you really don't get much backstory on what happened with the nanny or anything. But clearly, when their worlds collide, it's a lot different, especially when Alex finds out that his girlfriend is feeling up his twin brother. So that leads to some anger issues there, and that actually plays out again through the rest of the movie because one of the funnier scenes is when Danielle first walks into the bar, and she goes, everyone's looking at Chad because they think he's Alex, and so he's in like a pink shirt and khaki shorts, and they're just like, and then she's like silk underwear, they're all like enjoying it, but that's something that Alex, he's like, I would never wear that.
Like the great thing I like about Jean-Claude Van Damme in this is, like you see, you've got him when he's Alex. How they did it with the clothing. So he wears brighter clothing, he wears more flamboyant clothing because it's the time that they were. And obviously, Chad wears nothing but black, and he wears black. He has his hair combed back, and he tries to have more like a LA style. And so I like how Jean-Claude Van Damme as an actor tried to give them not just different looks but different personalities. Like Chad's very outgoing, very like flirtatious with the ladies, where Alex is very quiet or like reserved, keeps himself to himself, but he's got a temper. And I like that they did that.
Yeah. That picture you just had up, that pendant he's wearing, is that the same one from Rambo 2? Like the one she gives him, or he takes?
It looks like it, don't it?
Yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like it might not be, but man, if that's a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about you, Tony? How do you feel about the
Oh, it's a good plot. I mean, it's interesting. I would he's done a bunch of movies where he's played doubles, but I mean, you could tell, like in that picture, you could see that he's not really there, like the outline, but like for the times, it works out. There's one thing with that though, when they're talking to each other, they should have edited it better, because it's like you could tell they're like giving the direction almost like it's like Chad, and he'll like look at him, and they'll go, "Don't fuck it up," and then he'll just look back at him, and they have this long awkward look, and he'll go like, "Okay," or something like that. So they should have edited that better to make it a little more smooth, because it's like so awkward in a way. But then that's part of the charm of the movie at the same time too.
But, yeah, because obviously at the time trying to pull that off was pretty new. So like, chances are, because they tell John just to look at a certain spot, because that's and
he's going to be talking to you here, just looking like you're listening. Yeah, but they do it too long.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a good plot. And then it kind of like goes to a whole nother direction when they get on that island and stuff. So
yeah, like obviously after they initially meet and they're very hesitant with one another, Dad kind of decides to like walk around Hong Kong for a bit, and Alex is on a boat and he's got stolen Mercedes and cigars, and he's trying to do this deal. Like I see he does like have criminal activity going on, and then he's talking to these other smugglers, and then all of a sudden the police turn up. He ends up dumping the Mercedes. Shit goes wrong, and like this is where Chad sees what Alex's life is like, and it's not for him, because obviously he's like living the party LA dream lifestyle, and he's living like this corrupt lifestyle, and so there's like opposites, they're like yin and yang from one another. But it's also down to the fact that obviously Chad was taken over to LA and had like the LA dream lifestyle, and like you said, Chad lived probably on the streets, or had a really rough upbringing.
That leads to, Alex's insecurity because of, he loves his girlfriend, obviously, but Chad, being, like you said, he's more outgoing, fun, he dances, he does all these things. Plus he comes from, a little bit better situation. So that kind of shows Alex, like, wow, maybe my girlfriend's falling for my brother, because I'm living this like dark life and she's not really wanting to be a part of that. But at the same time, like, it's cool that they at least address a lot of that throughout the film, because that does play a part into Alex's meltdown.
Yeah. So obviously, like you say, Alex, because of his he's already skeptical about Chad that he's trying to get with Danielle, his girlfriend.
hmm
And the next scene that you see is where Chad's mistaken for Alex, and you've got the triad leader.
Zhang.
You've got Yang Philip Chan Yang Kin, he's called in this. He takes him and he goes, "Let's make a deal, join me, and things will be better." And he tells him to go fuck himself. And it doesn't end well for him because it's our second time meeting Bolo Young character, who's known as Moon in this, who, like we showed you before, is very intimidating, and it's the first clash between him and Chad, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah, right in the balls.
Boom. Oof. And I love these slow-mo shots, like when they used to do the action sequences and you got to see the full facial expressions, and
Yeah.
it just felt proper brutal, and you used to, especially if you're in the theaters. So if you're in the theaters and you're seeing something like this and they had a slow motion action shot, and you're seeing whether it was the music alongside the fight sequences and they hit you with the slow-mo action shots, you literally would sit there, especially if you're getting punched in the nuts, you'd be like,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, I do that now. Oh,
you instantly are like, oh shit, I could imagine that. And the way it was done, it's just fantastic.
yeah.
And obviously that's when he returns and he's like, I'm not doing this. Oh no, he returns. And that's when, because he's so pissed off, he says to Frank, who's been trying to convince the brothers to get together to take on Griffith in the triad leader, that he goes, let's do this. And Alex agrees. And this is where things get even deeper and more serious, because they then go to the nightclub or the night restaurant where they have this packaging that's meant to be like a creative wine or champagne, I think it was, but there's an explosive device. And at the same time, Danielle has been doing some snooping about, and she's finally discovered the truth that Griffin is corrupt. And this is where you're first introduced to Cora.
She's intimidating. You
Yeah.
think Bolo's intimidating? She's intimidating.
She is intimidating. And you know what I love about the old school kind of action films that you don't really get this day and age. You always had a good contrast of who the villain and who the hero was. So, like you see, you look at Jean-Claude Van Damme and you can tell he's a hero. Then you look at Bolo Young, he's big, he's intimidating, he's silent. You can tell who's a villain, who's the good guy. And they did the same back then with the women. So you will always have somebody who was blonde or brunette, who was like small, slim, slender, and like come across as a very feminine but strong woman. And then you always had the female who was always like a bit more, I wouldn't say thicker, but a woman who, she had a presence about her. She had there was something intimidating or something. You would look at the woman by her face and you'd go, I know she's a bitch.
Yeah.
But you don't really get that these days in modern action films. They don't really have that differentiation between hero and villain. I think they've softened on that, and I think that's something that's very much missing from today's action movies.
Yeah.
Probably more so from American than Asian films, because Asian films, they still have these like badass Asian women fighters, but in American films, they kind of leaned off of that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's something that's a miss. I think doing that kind of taken away from some of these action films. And the actress who plays Cora, she herself is a 5-time Olympia women's champion, Karina Everson. Yes, she's a bodybuilder, and she's won Miss Olympia 6 years in a row from 1984 to 1989. And this is a picture of her and Jean-Claude Van Damme together.
Were
And
you ever
she,
saying
you
that?
know, she looks amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they look great together. So you can clearly see why she was cast in this, because she just has this presence about her. And, you know, there's this moment as well where when you first meet Cora, you didn't know how it was going to go with her. And she basically is like, say, when Danielle's stooping, she's like, does Mr. Griffith know you're in here? And she went, oh, of course he does. Of course he does. Then the next time you see her later on after the big, like, fight at this restaurant, and Cora's, like, stabbed a man. And, you know, the shit went down because they've tried to, like, I guess, do an intimidation factor on the villains.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. There's like the next time you see her, Danielle once again snooping about inside the, I guess, like the record room, and she finds the information that can, like, I guess, prove that Griffith is this villain that they claim he is. This is when you see another side of Cora, and she basically pins Danielle to the wall. And it's very
Made me
intimidating.
really excited, didn't it?
It's very intimidating. It's very kind of
Hot.
sexualized, but it's also, you see just how intimidating she can be.
It's hot,
And,
but Danielle didn't like that.
Yeah,
you know,
she wasn't into the girl stuff.
No. Like, you could, after I'm done frisking you, you can frisk me.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And then
That's a good
even when
line.
she runs out of the room, terrified Danielle, Cora just leans back on the wall, just smiling like, "Oh, I missed out."
Yeah. Evil.
Yeah. And this is when she then makes obviously she contacts, well, she's trying to get in contact with Alex, but Alex doesn't pick up, so she ends up contacting Chad. And Chad then has no choice because he can't find Alex. He gets the boat because they're hiding out on this island that I guess was like an old part of the Wagner family's like building sites. And so he ends up going to rescuing Danielle, who, you know, there's a massive chase sequence. There's like a bit of a scuffle at Alex's bar where the head bartender gets his throat slashed, which is
I liked him
great
too. He was
scene.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he was cool. But he gets his throat slashed by the guy who I think he's like a cowboy with the boots on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. His ass handed to him later, which I like.
yeah. So next thing you know, after that, you see Danielle and Chad are on the boat after diving into the water. They're on the boat on the way back to the compound. This is where you see this insecurity with Alex, who starts drinking heavily, and his thoughts are taken away from him, and he's imagining them, you know, being together. And you actually get to see his mind, his thought. You got to see this lovely sequence. I'm sure you two gentlemen really enjoyed.
I did.
I was hoping we'd get to see those.
We didn't see them on Cora, though.
No. No, we didn't.
You boys have all the fun.
Mhm.
You do all right.
Look, you got to see John Flex. Be happy.
Yeah.
Very true. So what happens next then after that? Because they, like I say, they're still very unaware of one another. They're still very, you know, trying to figure each other out. But now that he has fully lost his mind, thinking the worst of him and his brother and Danielle getting together, they have this huge fight, which ends in them parting ways. And Chad says he's going to go back to LA. And this is when Griffith's men find the compound and there's a massive shootout. And this leads to where we're nearly at the final of the movie, where you've got Griffith's men who've got Danielle kidnapped and tied up, and you've got Frank tied up, and there's like these two different sets of people. So you've got the two twins finally decide to team together, put the differences aside. And so Alex, he's gonna go after Chen, and Chad's gonna go after Griffith. And this is where you see them fight all the different, opponents and the other henchmen that they'll met throughout the course of the film. You see obviously Chad fight Bolo Young Moon character Moon, and even that whole sequence is one of my favorite sequences in the film, where you see him and he sees Chad and he puts his hand up and he's like that, and he takes his shirt off, then he tells him to approach him, and he's like hoying the barrels at him, and he's proper fighting him, and it's just one of the best action sequences of the film. So DJ Anubis, what's your thought of the second half of this movie?
I like it. Again, Jeffrey Lewis, man, he doesn't mail it in. He really gives a great performance in this. And you would look at him and you would say, because he played the bodyguard of their dad and mom, and when they were gunned down and killed, you could feel that he was upset because he let them down. And then, of course, he took responsibility for Chad. He wanted both kids, but obviously they got separated. But even when they were torturing him, man, he was he just wasn't giving up anything. He's like, fuck you. And then even again, a smart thing by the dialogue and the script was when, the one guy trying to brag, the white boy, torture him, says, here, listen to this, Chad, or whoever he was talking to, and he's like, I'm in the boiler room. He gives it away they were all pissed off, but that's how smart he was about showing their location. So I really liked that in the end, how they were unraveling this, and again, the twins were coming together to work together and put their differences aside, and eventually, they worked it all out even in the end. So I really like it a lot.
Yeah. How about you, Tony?
Oh yeah, the second hour, it's a totally different movie. The island, it's funny too. When they first get there, and he's coming in with his clothes in bags and stuff, and it's the one without the bird shit, and he's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to call the maid. And he's like, oh, that's funny. And then he slips again. And then the bird lands on him. And I'm thinking, is that supposed to happen? Because the bird just flew right on his shoulder and that. And it's then it's an awkward moment. He's like, no, that's funny. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, that whole drinking scene was so long. He got so pissed off thinking about, he's thinking of his brother, but I mean, I guess I'd be pissed off too, but at the same time, I don't know. He has problems. He grew up in the system. But
that's why I was saying, because of he's a strong dude, confident dude, but you look at how Danielle is, her job is in a different world than Alex's, even though she didn't know she was working for a bad dude. It's she was clean cut, fancy looking, but Alex was very rough.
Yeah.
But, however they met, who knows? But I think, again, he was just very jealous about the lifestyle that Chad had compared to him. And so the fact that his girlfriend was kind of being, friendly with Chad was pissing him off.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, she's better off to be with Chad anyway, because Alex hit her and yelled at her.
That was something I was thinking back then. I was like, dude, and I think that actually pissed off Chad. I think Chad kicked him or something at that point.
That's where the whole big fight got into it. And I'm out of here. Fuck him. Where are you gonna go? Or I'll swim. It was and at the same time, that was two kids fighting, and the parent split them up, and he's like, go to your room. Fuck him, I'm going to my room now. Or I'm going, I'll walk home, kind of thing. But the whole that, are we getting to the final or
yeah, well, you can keep going if you want.
I was just gonna say, that whole ending scene, it's a long fight, because you get the Bolo Young fight, you get the Moon fight, which is great, and he's so cocky, and then he knows too, because it's a foreshadowing in the beginning when he sees Chad doing the kicks, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh. So when he threw that barrel, it's like he knew he was going to try to kick it, and it hurt his leg. But that whole fight scene's great. I love it though, where the guy thinks he's in the water, or Griffin thinks he's in the water. He's like, "Come on, you got to breathe sometime," and he just shows up behind him, and he's like, "Griffin!" That thing fall. That was so good. And then the guy falling from the top. Oh, yeah. Holy shit! That was a fall, man. I feel bad for that stunt double, but man, that was some great like that's the kind of like Anubis and I talk about this like in the home with the parents. So like we would have liked to seen a better death for them. These guys got what they deserved.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
But the thing is, you don't get many films now where the deaths are that dramatic, like you know, or the brutal. Like I think the last time I seen a decent death, I think it was in probably Furiosa. Of what happened to Chris Hemsworth when he gets killed. That was brutal death for him.
Yeah.
And like back in the day in the 90s, they used to totally destroy the villains by the end of the film. Like I always remember like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he on True Lies, where you had, you know, the terrorists on the missile and he launches
like in your intro, in your intro, that part, and then the other thing in Rambo 3 where he gets shot with the arrow. Was that 2 or 3? That was 3.
No, I think it's...
Is it 2?
Yeah,
3 is the one I've watched the least amount. But that part where he gets shot and like that's such a good scene.
Oh, you're talking about the Asian soldier?
Yeah.
That's 2. It's 2. Yeah.
Oh, it is 2. Okay. Yeah. I could picture like the air like that. It's so good. And it's like satisfying.
Yeah. And even in this, like even in the 90s, even like women in action movies, whether they were the heroine or the villainess, the major super strong, and even then the women they used to make be badass and have decent fights. Like Cara when she fought Jean-Claude Van Damme, I thought was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, she could definitely hold her own. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
I'm glad they made her fight him and not like Danielle, where it'd be like, there's no way Danielle's gonna win.
Well, Danielle, she would have just snapped her neck in seconds with them thighs. I'm not being funny.
Snap my neck.
That's one way to go.
Well, I know what Tony's saying though, because sometimes when you're watching an action film, and even if the badass girl is like really badass, they'll find a way for the girl that's like the feminine, you know, angel in distress, and she somehow manages to find a way to beat the bad girl. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like no way.
Well, look at another thing this reminds me. Remember GoldenEye, the sauna fight sequence?
Yeah. With
Famke, yeah. Apparently, you know, with Pierce Brosnan, there was a wall behind her, and she told him to basically force that into the wall as hard as he could. And he went, no, it's a solid wall. And she went, no, it's a prop wall. It'll not hurt. But she knew deep down that it was still a real wall. And he actually broke 5 of her ribs.
But that woman, man, she is a hell of an actress, man. I think she just loves taking on roles like that.
Yeah, she does.
Well, speaking of like hitting the walls and that, when Bolo was was banging Chad against Alex
inside the giant crate.
It's like if that is fake, okay, but like I have a feeling they're just like, just hit me against it, I'll react, because he wasn't banging his head. You could tell he was doing it right, but man, he was really hitting him hard on that thing, and I thought, wow, that he has to be bruised after that shit. Like there's no pulling back in some of this, I think, you know.
Yeah. So overall thought, Anubis, on Double Impact. Do you think it's lasted the test of time? And yeah, that's a funny question. Would you ever want to see this remade?
You know, no, I don't think so. sure, you could get some good actors like Statham or somebody to do something like this, but there's no point to it. This is a very good film. It still stands the test of time. It has a lot of good action in it. It's fun, as Tony says. It's a blast. You can kind of make fun of some of the cheesy lines and stuff, but that's what sort of makes these things endearing, as Tony says again. Like when it comes to 80s action, man, we love them for a certain reason. And this is like heyday Jean-Claude Van Damme. This isn't like later stuff where, it kind of gets bad on the dialogue and the scripts, but this is back when he was at the top of his game. And so this film is very, very good and still like a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. What about you, Tony?
Oh yeah, this was a fun rewatch. I couldn't help when Bolo got hit onto electricity. I fucking lost it. Like I was like, oh my god, because he's such a big dude and he's like this screaming and like holy shit. But man, it was like such a fun movie because it's like until they realize there's two of them, it's like it's just like Alex is Chad's getting his ass kicked for Alex, and Alex never once says like thanks, thanks, man. But interesting how they came together in the end, and everybody did a great part. I did kind of find Danielle to be a little annoying at times because all she did was scream a lot, which she had a good scream when they were like getting shot at, but like she's kind of just too what's the word I'm looking for?
Indecisive.
The princess is in another castle. She's kidnapped. Like one of those. And I don't know. She, but I liked everybody. I love the kills in this, the brutality. The only thing I said was like the editing could have been a little better between the brothers, but I think for the time it was great. 1991, for God's sakes. And it was cool to also see a bunch of guys in this from Bloodsport.
Yes.
And which was really neat. And I really like this. Probably my favorite time I watched it because like I've watched it, like I said, a few times before, but it was never like, I don't know. I guess I had meaning because I was going to talk about you guys. You know what I mean? It's like if I just watch it, it's just like, oh, I watched it, but we get to discuss it, and then I could start to like it even more. And so, yeah, I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite. Bloodsport is way up there, but this definitely in my top 5 of Van Damme, and I would probably give this I'm going to say 9.5.
Yeah, for me,
I like it a lot.
I really wanted to revisit this because I just had this urge to watch basically some Van Damme. So I have watched this one, and I've watched. I did watch Bloodsport again, and like I say, I've watched Universal Soldiers again, which I really enjoyed. I just never watched many Van Damme films for some time, but this one was the one that I prepared to watch for this because it was something that I just wanted to revisit, and it was pleasant surprise. I think it still holds up for its time. I think the acting's still great. I think that obviously the best actor is still Jeffrey Lewis in this. I just think he's fantastic. Yes. He's the strongest actor, and I think the villains are perfect. They're just proper 90s. I love to hate villains. You've got the two sleazy leaders in Griffith and the War and Chen, and then you've got the henchmen, the strong, imposing, intimidating henchmen, both Cora, Moon, and even Cowboy Dude, as I call him, with the blades on the back of his shoes. Just fantastic.
He's just called Bodyguard with Spurs. You don't even have a name.
Cowboy Dude, I call him. And obviously the rest of the cast do a fantastic job. I think it's a decent story. There was a planned sequel, but it was cancelled. They had tried for many years to get it off the ground, but it just didn't happen. And I'm quite happy that it probably didn't, because now that there's just the one, you can enjoy this for what it is. And if I'm gonna rate this, I'm gonna rate this 8 out of 10. If it was Bloodsport, I'd be giving it a 10 out of 10. But That's a
Well,
different
Bloodsport's
film
10
for
out of
him.
10 for me too. So I mean,
Yeah.
those, like I said, those early films for him are perfect films for me. Like I love them all like that. They're all so good.
But obviously
I
in
wouldn't
stuff,
want to see this remade. I don't. I mean, not that they couldn't do it, but for what the things that they said in this, you know, like these guys going like this, and he's calling them a, you know,
the F word.
F word.
the-
That wouldn't fly nowadays.
oh,
But I kind of think we need that, you know. Think people need to feel, not
Yeah.
just, you know, like we
Yeah.
don't. I hear that, I'm like, oh shit, you know, this is for the times. But nowadays, I don't know. As long as you know that it's bad, people say bad shit all the time.
yeah.
I
There's
don't know.
like a television channel in the UK called UK Gold, which shows all the classic like television program from like way back when. But then before it even comes on the television, it actually there's like a disclaimer on before the program starts saying these views were of its time. If you are easily offended, I suggest like I would not watch or churn the channel. I'm like, they need to, you know, it's history, it's television history, it's history in life, it's history of how the life was in those times. And I do think television in Hollywood's gotten too soft. The catering, because they're frightened, everyone's offended at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the problem. You know, grow some balls.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's why Tarantino does all his films on his own, because like he would be relegated to whatever they would want him to not put in there. And it's like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like if I'm doing a period piece and they're saying the N-word, tough shit. That's the way it was. Like you're gonna get it one way or another. Now he likes to really go on and on with that kind of stuff, but that's his own choice. Like I don't care that he does that.
Yeah, like look at Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal.
That's a great fucking movie, man.
What's up, Jedi?
And
talking about Harry Balls. What's up, Jedi?
Put him in my mouth and suck him.
Hello, sexual chocolate.
Suck all my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth.
That's right.
Don't act like you don't know what I'm
Big
singing.
Ginger balls.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
But generally, I just think Hollywood's too soft, and these kind of films are. Why you think these films are so revered today and so like well loved?
Yeah.
Even newer audiences are watching like modern day action films, and they can tell there's something missing, and then they'll watch like a Double Impact or a Bloodsport, and they're like, "Oh my god, they did not hold back! I love this shit."
Yeah.
And it's like, you know. That's why these have got reputations of being classic, much loved films.
The shootouts in this is really good too. Like when he's rolling on the ground and you see this what do they call that with that the blood spit
blood splatters.
Not the splatter, but quib or whatever it's called underneath that they use to make the bullet look like a bullet. Like hit him like squib. Is that what you said? Squib? That's the word.
Something.
Yeah, that it looked really cool. Like it looked like he was really being shot, and like I enjoyed the fight scenes and the shootouts in this movie, and it was like a lot of it too. So it was almost 2 hours long, but it doesn't really slow down too much.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, did you have a problem with the pacing of the movie, or did you think the pacing was okay?
I thought it was.
Well,
fine.
he thought the drinking part was a little bit long, but I didn't find a problem with that because, like, again, you're in the mind of Alex and how he's overthinking what's happening.
Yeah.
But to come back to Danielle about how Tony had some of the problems there, like her character, obviously, she would have slept with Chad if she could.
Hell yeah. I wouldn't doubt if she would leave.
I think she would have slept with both of them at the exact same time.
I know you.
No, she would.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going to happen. Like, you know, at one point he just gives her the hand to Alex and then he's smiling like, yeah, we're good, right?
I didn't fuck her. He should have said that.
Yeah.
Yes, but thoroughly enjoyed this. Anubis, have you decided the pick for the next Retro Classic Movie Show?
I have, indeed. It is going to be 1992's Under Siege, Steven Seagal.
Nice.
Oh, no.
What? That's
I'm
that's
joking.
that's like
I'm joking.
classic good.
That's when
Siege.
Seagal was good.
Yes.
Oh, I said
Yes.
Not when he's
Seagal.
like trying to be this, I don't know, one hit wonder
I don't know what
karate master.
I don't know what he is now.
What's he saying?
Have any
any
watched a
of you
current
watched-
R-rated film? It seemed like it's PG. I don't know.
Not off the top of my head, anyway.
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head, but even though the R rating these days isn't very R rated, in my opinion. Like some of the actions, it depends what it is. Like you say, modern Hollywood, they're frightened to take the risk, but that's why probably the same with Anubis. I'm going more towards Korean action films, Chinese and Japanese. Like the Shadow Strays. If you watch that does not hold back. That is one of the most brutal, modern, best action films I've seen on Netflix, and it's just been plotted on Netflix. Didn't get much promotion, but I knew about it because it's made by the same people who did The Night That Comes for Us. If you've seen that film,
Love that film. Love that film.
well, if you haven't seen, Shadow Strays, please check it out because you will not be disappointed. It does not disappoint, and apparently, I do believe they're making a sequel, so I'm very excited for that one.
What's that one that there's a second part, but it's not as good as the first one. It's like
The Raid.
The Raid. How the fuck did you know I was talking about?
Because I knew.
Like
I actually like
that
Raid
felt
2.
pretty PG to me. No, I'm just kidding. That was like holy shit.
Yeah, Jedi. Definitely need to do that.
That's
Oh, look at
definitely
that.
a choice. Mhm.
I
love
haven't
both.
watched the second one. I've only seen the first one, but
Yeah.
man,
I
First
would
one's
do a
better, but the second one's not bad at all.
I fancy doing a double feature. If one of you guys do The Raid, I want to do The Night Comes for Us in The Devil Strays as a doubler. To guarantee you, because it's made both by the same director, you will not be disappointed.
I don't think I've seen The Night Comes for Us.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
if you like The
It's on
Raid,
Netflix,
you'll like
too, I
The Night Comes for Us. Yeah, it's like John Woo was an amazing action director. Like his style back in the day was phenomenal. But anyway, gentlemen, as always, this has been fun. I've enjoyed doing this. Love talking Double Impact. But DJ Anubis, what is coming to the Metal Tavern Radio?
Right now, I only have a couple of things on the burner. The first one is I'm going to be doing a review for the Yeti. Probably the next couple of days. We were going to do that on Ghouls, but we changed plans there. But I do have my pick for next week for Ghoul, which is going to be Ready or Not To, Here I Come, Samara Weaving. So I'll be
You saw that, right? You saw that one?
Yeah, I saw it, but I want to watch it again because I really liked it. So, but yeah, that's going to be my
I've never
pick.
seen any of them.
First one's
really?
good.
Nope.
You should check them out. They're good. I don't know what Tony's pick is yet for that, but for his pick,
I'm not sure yet. You'll know by tomorrow. I usually pick them on a Sunday. I don't know why. The Lord's Day.
Last minute, but then sometimes
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
He'll hit on me one day and be like, it'd be like a day before. He's like, "You didn't watch it yet, right?"
Yeah. Sometimes it's like 6 hours before. I'm like, "Did you watch it?" No, I didn't. Okay, well, I'm picking a new one.
Yeah. He'll do that.
Yeah.
And then other times,
Anything
like, if he's already seen the one I picked, he's like, "I fucking hate you."
Yeah, I tell you what, I want to say that you lucky bastard, have seen it. You've seen the Yeti.
You may want to watch my review first.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a few reviews and they said it's pretty good, but
there's some nice things about it, but it was when I did the trailer reaction, I thought it was way better than it was. Way better.
well,
There's good things in it.
Yeah.
And if
But
you
there's
get a
some
screener for the Kraken, you know who your friends are.
Well, I can send you the one for the Yeti if you want to watch it.
Never interesting. Yeah,
I think there's still some views left on that.
Oh, cool. That'll be
That
interesting.
girl from Coyotes is like the main woman in it.
Mhm.
She did good in this. I think she's a good actor. Well, I'm not going to talk about that movie.
Yeah.
Actress,
So,
actor, whatever.
so anything come to your channel, Tony, apart from ghouls?
Yeah. Well, like you said, ghouls, and then I have. I'm working. Like I said, I'm working on Predator songs. I have 3 videos going so far.
Oh, nice.
Then this is what I have marked on the 30th. I'm going to be a guest on Brother Chaos's channel. We used to do Voyage of the Bottom Barrel together and everything. And he's a really great guy, and he has his own channel finally reviewing all that stuff. And he invited me on, and we're going to be talking. I picked it, Minnie's Midnight Massacre. It's another like Mickey Mouse, but Minnie Mouse like killing thing. Is from ITN Distribution, so it should be okay. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be on there for that. And I don't know. I saw a clip today though. This has nothing to do with it, but Winnie the Pooh 3. Yeah, he looks a little older, so
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Lewis Sander. Yeah, he's been hitting the gym. He's put some weight on for his next performance as Tigger.
Oh, that's right. I thought Passion was R-rated because I saw that way back in the theaters, and that thing was gory as fuck.
Yeah, it was. I actually saw it too back then.
Yeah, and they've got the one. I don't know if it's out this year, but not sure if it's this year, but I think it might be out next year. Resurrection of the Christ is the sequel coming out.
Oh yeah.
Resurrection.
Yes.
He takes his
Resurrection
cross
of the Christ. Yeah.
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah.
How did I get out of not going to that? I've never seen Passion of the
The
Christ.
Passion of the Crust. That's tomorrow.
Well, that's really it. Sucks up until the beating.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you say that?
I just did. Because it's slow. It's a slow moving movie.
Yeah, but I agree. When it gets to that part, it's
fucking lady ass just keeps dropping the cross. Oh, my head hurts from these thorns. I'm just kidding. That would suck. That when they push, anytime I've ever seen in the redoing of that, and they push the thorns on the head, that's like, to me, that's like one of the worst parts besides the nails.
Yeah. As for me, on the 10th of April, at 10 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing Howl from Beyond the Fog, the next Kaiju Connections. And then on the 12th of April, it's a little bit early. It was scheduled for the 17th, his actual birthday, but because my schedule's changed, on the 12th, we're doing Rodan 1956 for Mr. Jake Hall's birthday. So, so we've got them 2 planned. And I have an education planned for this on the 17th of Monster Hunter with our friend John, Mr. Big Bad Wolf. And then this was never meant to be the month of Kaiju, but it seems to be. And then on the 25th of April, we're doing the Kaiju Connections Fantasy Filmmaking Stream, which is going to be fun, where everyone who's joining the stream has to pick an already existing Kaiju film. So separately, you cannot pick a Godzilla film. So it could be, because that would be too easy. So it would be anything like, for example, Howl from Beyond the Fog. It could be Rodan. It could be, Gorgo. And then what you do is you then make a new fantasy Kaiju film. Like a sequel, a prequel, a reboot, and just explain your reasons why you chose that film and your story. And it's just
this like my what if stuff.
Oh yeah, have you started? When you're going to start that?
I haven't really kept up with that. I don't think I'll probably do it anymore. But it's similar. The theme is similar to what I was doing with that.
All right, but this is like, because obviously in the group chat we always talk about, oh, imagine this film, that film. So
Mhm.
I thought, well, why don't we just do a stream about it and just
Mhm.
see where our imagination takes me?
Mhm.
And so that's what's coming up for the rest of April on the entertainment headquarters. But as
Nice.
always, gentlemen, it's been fantastic having you on. My co Mr. DJ Anubis, is always great guy. Check out the Metal Tavern Radio,
Big
subscribe
penis.
to him, and also check out his Google Prism channel with all of his amazing music that he's making. And of course, Mr. Tony of the Dead also has his music channel, which is called White Trash. And I like a number of his songs. I still play the Static Nose. I play
Noise.
still. No,
Well, the static. No. Oh, yeah. Well, you said that. I'm thinking of NOSE. I'm like, no. I'm tired.
no, KNOWS, the Static Nose.
And the static nose. Yeah, that's
yes,
a good one.
It's a good one. So please
I almost
check out
changed the name of White Trash. I was gonna change it to the Brown Note,
Oh,
Which-
no.
which is that one note that supposedly you play and it makes you take a shit.
Yeah.
So, but I never did yet.
Wow. Well, I like
Like an
White
evolution, you know what I mean?
Trash. Yeah, I think White Trash is better. Sounds better. Sounds cooler, hip.
Yeah, but you type it
Yeah.
in and an Eminem comes up, like a song of his or something. I don't know. Not him himself.
If there's any Eminem fans in the chat, I'm so sorry about that. No, but anyway, thank you guys. This has been a blast. Keep enjoying your movies, keep enjoying all things entertainment, and I'll catch us all at the next one.